For the current flow is 100 plus or minus 10 milliampere. So you know USL, you know LSL, you know target. The process mean and estimated standard deviation are 107 and 1.5 respectively. Process mean means X bar.
X bar.
Process standard deviation is sigma. Compute the CP. All the formulas are known to us now. I calculate CP. CP is how much? 2.22. Now, what is your conclusion now? Looking at CP of 2.22, can somebody comment now?
It's more than 1.66.
That's fine, but what is your statement?
It's
process is consistent.
Very good. Process consistent. Yes. Consistency is assured. Spread is low, so results are consistent. Very good. Spread low means everything is around the average. Everything around the average means almost same result you are getting. That's what I call it consistent. Now I calculate CPK. My CP upper is 0.66, CP lower is 3.77. Which one I should take? CP upper
0.66.
So my process is shifted to the right side, right? And now I clearly understand CP not equal to CPK. Requirement is CP should be equal to CPK. Process is shifted towards USL. So you must take measures to move the process center towards the customer target. You do something. List all the causes, find out the potential causes, and then validate the causes, take action, then only this condition will get satisfied. It won't get fulfilled easily. And CP equal to 2.22, you don't need to do anything because spread is completely under control, right? This is what we call it statistical control. And then CPK 0.66 means you can understand requirement is more than 1.67. Your process is not capable. So what are you supposed to do? You need to do both above. What is both above? Move the process mean towards the target. You don't have to work with respect to the spread. So only one action you need to take. What is that action? Move the process mean towards the target. Clear? How will you move? That's a consulting project. If you call me, we can discuss at your site. Right. An extrusion die is used to produce aluminum rods. The diameter of the rod is a critical quality characteristics. Specification of the rods are this one. That means USL, LSL, target is known, and process average, which is X bar, and estimated standard deviation 0.0003, sigma is known, compute CPK. Same case. CP is 1.11. What is your conclusion now? Consistency also a problem. Industry requirement is 1.33 or 1.67, depending on the criticality, but it is less than the standard, less than the requirement. So you need to work on reducing the spread. CPK is, you have got how many values? Two values, 1.55 and 0.66. I will take only 0.66. This time what happened? My process moved towards LSL. My process is shifted to the left. So I will move the process center again towards the customer target. Since CP is also a problem, I should also take measures to reduce the process spread also. That is called a process variation. So CPK 0.66 means my process is not capable. I will do both. I will move the mean as well as reduce the variation. Hope it is clear to all of you.
Sir, just can you go back to the previous question, previous slide? Sir, can't we measure or an indication is even the average, the mean value which is coming in? If I took at this slide or even the previous slide, if I look at it, the average is, so for example, in this case, my target is 0.5035 and my process average is coming out to be 0.5031. So it's any which way going to the LHS side. Can't I get the indication? So maybe, you know, in terms of, okay, I'm calculating, I'm just deriving the value. But even my process average gives me a very big indication whether the process is on the LHS side or on the RHS side. The closer.
Same, correct. Same thing, only your CPK is also predicting. What your CPK is telling you and what you understand looking at the process average are same.
Correct.
It's a tool just ensures you look at the correct place. That's all.
So basically, does it hold good every time?
Yes.
Yeah, it will.
It is depending on the standard deviation also.
No. He is talking only about the shift. Shift will appear only when you're looking at the process center itself. It will definitely appear. Your decision will be correct. If the average appears on the right side of the target, yes, it is. You can conclude process is shifted to the right. All right.
And maybe if we have to calculate, we can just save our time. Do we have to calculate the CP and CPK? If its moving average is much closer to the
See,
target,
See, when your final capability depends on two things, you should keep an eye on both. You just can't see the average and conclude.
no, that is I
See the average, see the spread. That is nothing but CPK. Sorry, that is
CPK.
nothing but CPK.
Mhm.
And then why do I again calculate CP? Whether an improvement scope further exists or not.
Exist or not.
If my CP is better than CPK, I should not stop my improvement initiative. I should again work. Maybe I will float another project to bring my CPK close to CP. Got it?
Got it, sir. Got it.
And now there is a question to all of you. CP equal to 0.94, CPK equal to 0.33. And that means my process is not capable. And tell me what action is needed to improve the capability.
Spread.
CP should be increased. CP should be increased to lower the spread or or increase the process consistency. And CPK should also be increased so that the process shift is reduced.
That means you have to do two things. One is move the mean, move the process mean towards target, and
Towards
also
center
reduce the variation.
variations. Yes.
Move the mean and reduce the variation. Both are required. Hope all of you understood how to work with CP and CPK, right?
Yes, sir.
Same problem. We'll do it with the Minitab, but minor changes. The manufacturer of cable wire want to assess if the diameter of the cable meets the spec. Cable wire must be 0.55 plus or minus 0.05 centimeter in diameter to meet the engineering specification. Analysts evaluate the capability of the process to ensure it is meeting the customer requirement of a PPK of 1.33. Every hour, a subgroup of 5. Subgroup means the number of sample you take at a time. That's called subgroup, right? Your subgroup size is 5 from the production line and record at the diameter. Now I do a capability analysis in Minitab, and Minitab throws away all my metrics. I don't have to really worry about each and every calculation. I feed the data. I should only give all the inputs. See here, LSL, target, and then USL. Because they told, how much it is. 0.55 is the target. So what is my USL? 0.6. My LSL is 0.5.
0.5.
And so those are all, those are all given here. LSL, target, USL, and sample mean it can calculate, and all these things, all the other things are calculated. Now I get, this thing, capability, within capability and overall capability. Within capability and overall. Can somebody tell me what is the difference between within capability and overall capability?
Within capability is of the sample, and overall capability is the population.
Very good, brilliant answer. But is that can be elaborated further? What is overall capability and what is within sample? Within sample means what does it actually means? I collected a sample. Let us say I come to your factory. I collect a sample from your machine. Use the data and I calculate use the data and I calculate something and I measure your capability. Now, what do I understand? I just came one day. I understood that your capability is, let us say, 1.67. But I come after 3 months. Will I experience the same 1.67?
No, sir.
When I visited that particular day, whatever I calculated, that and my experience will be same. That much I'm sure. Because the variation I am measuring is within variation. What is within variation? Within batch variation. Whatever I observed is applicable only to the particular batch of output. Am I correct?
Yes.
The next day, it's the next batch. The third day, it's a third batch. The fourth day, it's a fourth batch. All right. So there could be a variation from batch to batch. What I measured is within a batch. Got it? If
Yes.
my data, all my data is from particular batch, then the variation is called within batch variation. But I produce something during batch 1, and next day is batch 2, third day is batch 3. I can also see variation from batch 1 to batch 2, batch 2 to batch 3, batch 3 to batch 4. That is called between batch variation. When I combine the two, within batch variation and between the batch variation, that is called overall variation. What is expected out of any business? Your within batch variation should be
Equal
low.
to
Should be low first of all. If the within batch variation is low, customer will get the same experience with all the product you manufactured in that batch. Am I right?
right.
Yep.
If the between batch variation is low, customer will have same experience with all your batch products. Whether I bought the product last week, this week, next week, or next month, I'm sure my experience is going to be same. Hope all of you agree with me. No, all of you are with me on this.
Yes,
There are
sir.
two variation. One is within batch variation, another one is between batch variation. Both can
So can we say-
play. Yes, both can play and make your product out of spec. Possible. Both can play. So it is important you consider both. And that is why we go for PPPP. We don't settle with CPCP. If I want to understand the overall capability, I must collect data over a sufficient period of time to ensure that all variation play in my process, and then I calculate my capability when all source of variation play in my process. Do you understand, all of you, the difference between CPCPK and PPPK? I know it's definitely confusing.
So CPCPK, so can we say it like this, sir? So CPCPK will give you only within batch variation. And PPPK will give you both. PPPK will give you overall.
Yes, you're right.
Is it like this?
That is also correct. Correct. You're right. So actually, it depends on what kind of standard deviation you use in your formula. If you use a particular standard deviation, then that will give you only your within capability. See, there are two things you need to understand. One is within capability, another one is between capability, and the third one is overall capability. Right? Within capability uses the data collected within a particular batch only. Between capability uses the data collected from different batches. And then overall capability is a combination of these two. I will explain, right? You can wait for it, right? Right. And now, so everything is here. You need to read. Since PPPK was not taught to you, you don't need to worry about it right now. Let us worry only about the, the dotted line. What is dotted line? This thing. Yeah, that is your within capability, right? Within capability is nothing but your CPCPK. Let us not worry about PPPK. And everything is written here because these are all connected. So expected ppm, parts per million, how much can go below LSL, how much can above USL, and overall how many parts might get rejected? 20,000 parts out of 1 million might get rejected, right? And this is observed, and then expected is important. So expected is also available here. Now let us understand the calculation. And if you want to do it yourself, this is the step. All of you can do it, or I will demonstrate. Let us do it with Minitab.